right, so let's get into Nielsen rating versus first-party data. Obviously, both have strengths, but I will say one has more weaknesses than the other. First-party data is going to rule king there for a bit. But let's talk about what's the difference between Nielsen ratings and first-party data, okay? While Nielsen ratings have been the industry standard for decades, they're pretty limited in their scope, okay? The ratings mainly focus on traditional media channels and types, and may not fully capture the diverse and evolving digital media landscape, right? So as advertisers and partners are growing and their needs are growing, it takes another specific solution to come in and to kind of combat those or combat just traditional media methods, okay? So for first-party data here, right, first-party data provides a more comprehensive and accurate view of the audience, specifically your audience, okay? Since it's directly collected from your audience, it covers a broader range of accurate and more specific detailed information, which enables not only you, but your partners, right? It enables them to have a better understanding of the behavior of the people who are engaged or their audience, and who's engaging with them, okay? If, as you see here in this graph, like it shows like the general how Nielsen ratings will work, whether it's TV, whether it's radio, and there's some others as well. Whereas first-party data is being collected from users providing, their detailed information, whether it's through surveys, like as you can see here, iPad, computers, mobile device, you name it. Sorry, 1 second. But with first-party data, as your company collects this data, you can then harness it. And I'm going to go into more detail about where an opportunity lies for, for TV and radio to jump into first-party data and collect it, and how that can help boost even just general Nielsen rankings as well, but help boost longevity with your clients that you're working with, okay? Current brands may use first-party data, understand customers' life cycle, improving their buying experience, developing new products and categories, retargeting customers, and breaking into new markets. And that's really going to show some separation where Nielsen rating is going to show a higher macro level. First-party data just does such a good job at showing granular details. Again, I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Some examples of where brands actually collect this, kind of already touched point on that with the graphic saying whether it's mobile devices, whether they're answering surveys or participating in sweepstakes, and with bonus entries, growing social media platforms and social accounts there. So lots of different ways where brands are trying to gather first-party data, but they're not always successful in doing so. And that's really where audience, our audience, that's funny to say, comes into play, right? We're able to do it almost all in one. And that's a huge step in the right direction for new marketers, and really driving in that separation from Nielsen. So, okay. All right. So going into why first-party data is more important than Nielsen rating. Now, this is going to be huge as we talk about data source. That's going to be number one, is the data source itself, and how it's collected. So with data ownership, right, with Nielsen's, it's owned and controlled by Nielsen, and a selected panel of participants. Media organizations may have access to aggregated data and reports, but they lack direct control over the data collection process. Whereas first-party data provides media organizations with complete ownership and control over how that data is being collected, right? This level of control empowers organizations to really utilize the data in a way that best aligns with their specific goals and objectives, okay? So you really will be able, as you collect the information, as you collect the data, I said just earlier, where does the opportunity lie? And as the data is being collected, there is a long game that you are playing here. As data is being harnessed, you can, let's just say you've ran a few promotions, 4 or 5 promotions that were dealing with automotive. You could then, as an account executive, go to another car dealership and say, hey, we own, let's just say you had 3,000 people that have said, hey, virtually had raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in purchasing a vehicle. And yes, I would love to receive my information. That's data that you own. You can then utilize that by going to an advertiser and say, hey, we can immediately remarket to people who have shown an interest and who've shown an interest in purchasing a vehicle in this area. It's very specific. It's very niche in what you're trying to do and execute. And that is going to speak volumes to marketers. And yes, that's one specific example, but there are multiple ways that you can do this with other companies. I say this, and it's very cliche to say, but with our platform, you're only limited to your own creativity. So if there is a way that you're wanting to gather this data, you can absolutely do so through our applications, whether it's a sweepstakes, whether it's a survey, whether it's user-generated content like running a gallery. You really will be able to maintain all of that information. So and it takes me, actually, I want to focus on granularity and detail, right? So with Nielsen rankings, Nielsen offers valuable insights and I said this a little bit earlier, at a macro level, okay? But they don't necessarily provide granular data about the individual's experience or the individual just data of who they are, right? You don't know much more about that. And it makes it hard for marketers to build marketing plans and strategy around that. And so where first-party data allows more of that personalized, detailed understanding of individual audience members. And that's what you're doing, right? You're building profile data, you're building first-party data. So use it. This is granular level of insight that enables companies, so media organizations or partners and advertisers you're working with, to create targeted content, personalized marketing campaigns, and basically improve any type of user experience that they can have, or improve the user experience, and get it the best that it can be. An example I can share with you is I was working with a station that had a partner that they were working with. Ironically, was automotive, and the car dealership reached out to the radio station and said, hey, we are moving to digital. They didn't really give a reason why. They didn't really explain any real benefit on why they wanted to, just that they were going to digital. And so we actually jumped on a call and started asking some find out questions, and really they wanted some more transparency in the data that they were receiving. And so what we did is we built a sweepstakes where we had geolocation enabled. And what that allows is people to go to the dealership and say, hey, for 50 to 100 bonus entries, I came to that location, I checked in for my chance to win. I believe at this point they were giving out a set of free tires. And within just the first 2 or 3 days, we were able to show that there was an influx of 10 to 15 people who came and checked in. And the dealership was amazed and excited to pursue this, relationship, even though, they'd been working together for years. This just added one more arrow to your quiver of opportunities to help close a deal. Okay. So first party data and being able to have that and to show transparency and granularity is going to be huge. And it really will set yourself apart from others, as well, as because it will show that you are an expert in the field, as you have, and it will show that you have or that you care for their interests, right? That you're really trying to have them be successful as well. Obviously it doesn't help to get a sell, right? But in all seriousness, it does. I mean, it helps both parties here. So, and as I say, real-time insights. Okay. So with Nielsen ratings are often released on a delayed schedule with data provided on like a weekly or monthly basis. Okay. This lag in reporting may hinder timely decision-making for media organizations. Now, going back to the car dealership example, if there was somebody who raised their hand and said, hey, I would like to receive, or I am interested in purchasing a vehicle. If you're waiting until a promotion's ended after, 4 weeks to 6 weeks, that lead isn't as warm. Whereas first party data and the data that's being collected through our platform can be analyzed in real time, providing, you know, you as a partner, but your partners and advertisers with immediate and actionable insights. Okay, so this allows them to respond quickly to audience trends, preferences, and even engagement patterns. So it's it truly is incredible. And as the shift has gone from the depreciation of third-party cookie, and I'm going to get into that here in just a minute, more and more as time goes on, marketers and partners that you're working with are looking to grow their first-party data, and the majority of them don't have a clue where to start, or they don't have or they don't even have their own data even collected after years of marketing. So, you know, my biggest tip I can give right now is, hey, start collecting your first party data, start harnessing it for yourself, and being able to engage on the sell side or engage marketing, however you want to do it. You know, you own the data outright, so use it. Okay, one second here. As I said, sponsorship opportunities. I wanted to provide kind of a list, whether you're trying to increase web traffic for them, whether they're trying to grow YouTube subscriptions or just increase their overall digital footprint. You can easily do it within our platform, right? We want to be able to provide that. And again, you're only limited to your own creativity. Super cliche to say, but it's absolutely true. Our focus, you know, even with our rebranding to audience, you know, that's why I said it's kind of funny saying audience to your audience. But truthfully, our core values are helping brands capture and enriching and activating first party data. And I said this earlier, but you'll be able to do all in one, right? Obviously, this sweepstakes that you're looking at, this is a lot of information that first party data information that you're wanting to collect. I wouldn't suggest going this heavy, but what I wanted to show you and present to you is the way that you could collect first party data, or the way that an advertiser could potentially tie in and collect first party data. You can build out user profiles. Like, for example, in step 2 here, I love to build out user profiles and demographic information. I want to know as much about my audience as possible. And so does your client and partner that you're working with, right? And then you can, in step 3, that's going to be this column in the middle with all the social fields and bonus incentivized actions. That's where you're going to be able to start having people follow on and grow your social media platforms. And these are all bonuses for you and for your advertisers, right? And of course, my favorite is that go visit our sponsor, geolocation. Big fan. Just so you know how that works, all you have to do is put in the coordinates of the location that you're wanting to go, you're wanting users to go to. And all you have to do is, I just advise you go to like Google Maps, drop a pin, you just put the coordinates in from that pin, and you can set it within, I've tested it within 10 feet and it works. So it's a great way to get physical foot traffic into a location. And that is some first party data that Nielsen definitely cannot provide, right? Yeah, and adding a survey to generate quality leads. You can easily add a survey to the promotion as well. And this feeds into first party data even more, right? So going past demographic information about the user, you can then ask more details. So for example, in this mortgage survey, you know, if it was a mortgage company tied to it, mortgage company is going to want to ask very specific questions pertaining to their audience and their current goals and strategy. So this is a fantastic way to do so. Obviously, there are different party types, first, second, and third party data. First party data is going to be the highest possible quality, but typically it comes in at the lowest rate just because it's typically hard to collect. Whereas third party data, jumping over third party data, right? That is being collected from through, again, another way that another venue that you don't have necessarily full control over, right? Whereas first party data, you manage that 100% of the time. And second party data, that's actually how that works is, and this would actually fall for you in between first party and second. You're kind of in between there. Second party data is that you utilize a platform to help gather data, which is then sent directly to you, which would be us, right? Audience, which is sending first party data to you, whether you're using a CRM like MailChimp or Salesforce or Zapier, totally up to you. That data is then immediately sent. So between first and second party data, very, very close. As I said, second party data collects directly from consumer, but is sold to advertisers. But with our connection, how are you leveraging the data that you own? My biggest advice or piece of advice here would be tagging the promotions that you generate so that you can easily find everyone who is interested in a specific vertical. Let's just say you're doing a snowboarding promotion throughout the wintertime, and it's a promotion you do every single year. Well, down the line, you want to use the information that's been collected to then remarket, retarget, and then even update users who have maybe participated within a year ago, saying, hey, we have new promotions that are coming up and available for them to participate in. This will help boost your overall page views, but as well as help bring in longevity to your relationship with your clients that you're working with directly. And then third-party data, again, has no direct relationship to the consumer. Usually that's in the form of cookies, pixels, and aggregators as people browse website. It's not very specific. And again, depreciation on that has begun. And this is very similar to Nielsen rankings, right? It's more of a macro level. And yes, there's some separation there in obviously the details and the data that's being reported. But again, those are very, very similar on how it's collected. Now going over to to integrations is now that you have first party data, we understand it, we're collecting it. Where does it go? I kind of mentioned this. If you are doing some like lead generation with an advertiser, we can tie into their CRM or marketing tools. So if they have MailChimp, we can immediately send over to them. There's some others as well, like Campaigner, PostUp, you name it. We can send the details over so that you could then begin your drip campaign, email drip campaigns, or whatever marketing strategy you're looking to execute. Okay. So realistically, and we've have numerous ways to integrate with partners. So if you have questions about this, please feel free to chat in. Here is kind of like a list of those integrations that we have available. We even do have a leads portal. I'm not sure if you've heard about that, but feel free to chat in with our team if you're curious about getting information sent over to an advertiser directly in real time. Now, we are so excited. So we've talked about this, but we really are so excited about promotions that we see. We'll come across them as users, as we're helping our clients. And there are some that are just, they blow our mind or blow us away. And we just get really, really excited about it. So now we want to turn that excitement and help and give you some money for it. So, and how that would work out is we want to share your audience success story and give you a $50 Amazon gift card. Okay. We want to feature you on our blog. So please chat in. If you have a promotion that you're working on that can turn into a case study, let's set up a time to chat, please, with our marketing team. They are really excited as they've been able to build out some awesome case studies recently. We've had some users take advantage of this $50 Amazon gift card, and we're really trying to help grow that aspect of what we offer. So please, if you have an awesome promotion, might as well make some money for it as well. So please feel free to reach out to us at any time. But if you have any questions, chat in, give us a call. You can either give us a call or even shoot us an email. We're always always here. And our live chat is something that I always brag about. And I know you think, oh, live chat. Our team is fantastic, and I can promise you, if you haven't given it a try, you'll be pleasantly surprised at how fast we respond. So.